talk a little bit of rugby and maybe some climate change with Alan Jones, who's with us from Sydney. Alan, good morning.
Mike, good morning.
It was a sock in it. Put a sock in it. Am I right?
Well, Jacinda Ardern has a habit of, I think she's a complete lightweight, and New Zealanders feel the same way. I notice her poll numbers are sinking. The latest poll's 41%. She promised a housing policy at the election. She's got none. And here she is preaching to us on climate change. And I really made the point that the per capita climate change growth, emissions growth in New Zealand, is about 8 times greater than that of Australia. She doesn't even know that. And I simply said that since 1990, per capita carbon dioxide emissions have grown by over 10.8% in New Zealand and 1 and a bit percent in Australia. And I just said, someone's got to tell this woman to keep quiet. Put a sock in it. I said it's a metaphorical way of saying shut up. I wish she would shut up. I don't know how New Zealanders handle all this. I mean, she's on the international stage all the time. Now, if she was the sovereign or, the Governor-General or something, I suppose that would be terrific. But she's the Prime Minister and you expect to get these things right. Anyway, I noticed that the resolution, or the so-called Tavalu resolution, hasn't been passed because these people think we're just money trees and they can mention climate change. I wonder will they be mentioning climate change to China? I wonder will they say to China, well, we don't want your money unless you stop polluting, because China are going to increase their their coal output by 141 million tonnes this year. 141 million tonnes. I mean, we've had an argument in Australia over an Adani mine, which is going to produce 10.
Well, Winston Peters, our Deputy Prime Minister, made that point, is that they might like to look at the coal money that comes in from China. Equally so, the interesting thing is no one's got more political credibility at the moment than Scott Morrison, given what he got out of that election victory, has he?
Well, it's a bit, that's a very good point. It's a very charitable point. But I think that, Mike, it's a bit like Jacinda Ardern. Scott's got to come home. I mean, he's been all over the world. There are big issues here. We've got a dreadful, dreadful, dreadful drought like no one has ever known, and so farmers are in all sorts of problems because of this renewable energy rubbish and the subsidies to renewable energy and the demonisation of coal-fired power. We've got electricity prices going through the roof. I mean, to give you an example, the wholesale price for electricity in Victoria at the beginning of the year was about $37 a megawatt hour. Now, there are businesses out there saying, well, where am I going to get my electricity from next year? So, as you know, they go onto the futures market and they buy down the track. The contract money, the wholesale price, $148 a megawatt hour. Now, 37 to 148. I had business people saying, we're going to America. We're not investing our money here. Yeah. So these are big issues, energy prices. And then, of course, on top of that, we've got to build a dam somewhere. I heard your forecast there. They're forecasting heavy rain. Send a bit of us over here, will you? We need it. but there are all these domestic issues, which is what your Prime Minister's got to start addressing. Yeah. I mean, it's easy to run around the world and smile at people and look good and hug people and all the rest of it. But at home, people vote for a particular reason. They want things to be done. And in your country and our country, they're not being done. So Scott, he's got tremendous goodwill, and it was a phenomenal victory. But people voted, the quiet Australians, as they call them, voted for things to happen, and just at the moment they're not happening, and they want them to happen.